9th class history Charitra. Pastoralists in the modern world. First question. Explain why nomadic tribes need to move from one place to another. What are the advantages to the environment of the continuous movement? Answer. The nomadic tribes need to move from one place to another because, first point, they do not have their own fields to get fodder for their herds. They need pasture to graze their animals. Second point, they cannot stay in an area for a long period of time because of shortage of pasture and water. Third point, in winter season when the high mountains are covered with snow, they live in lower hills. The dry scrub forests provide patches for their heads. Advantages to the environment of this continuous movement. First point, the movement of the nomads allows the patcher to regrow and recover. Second point, it helps in protecting the ecology of the environment. Third point, flocks used to ear the lower ends of grain stalks left in the ground after harvesting and manure the fields. Second question, discuss why the colonial government in India brought in the following laws. In each case, explain how the law changed the lives of pastoralists. Wasteland rules, forest acts, criminal tribes acts, grazing tax. Answer. Wasteland rules. This law was brought to take control of the land which was not under cultivation. To colonial officials, an uncultivated land appeared to be unproductive. The wasteland produced neither revenue nor agricultural produce. If this land could be used, the area under cultivation increase and the revenue also increase. But this rule shrunk the pasture land which was earlier available. Forest Acts. First point, Forest Acts were introduced to gain control over these forests which had commercially important trees. Second point, these acts were also utilized to collect some revenue from the pastoralists. Third point, because of the new forest acts, the movement of pastoralists were severely restricted. Fourth point, they had to move according to the new rules instead of seasons. Criminal Tribes Act. First point, the British officials were suspicious of nomadic people. Second point, they distracted mobile craftsmen and pastoralists who changed their places of residence every season in search of good patches for their hands. Third point, the British wanted the rural people to live in villages. In fixed places, it is easy to identify and control them. Fourth point, they considered the nomadic as criminals. Fifth point, so they passed the Criminal Tribes Act in 1871. Sixth point, once this act came into force, these communities were expected to live only in notified village settlements. They were not allowed to move without a permit. Seventh point, the village policy kept a continuous watch on them. Grazing tax. First point, grazing tax was imposed and pastoralists had to pay tax on every animal they grazed on the patches. Second point, the tax per head of cattle went up rapidly and the system of collection was made increasingly efficient. Third point, between 1815s and 1818s, the right to collect the tax was auctioned out to contractors. Fourth point, by the 1818s, the government began collecting taxes directly from the pastoralists. Fifth point, this tax put a new burden on pastoralists.